Howdy, it's Colin today. I'm just trying to make a few points, thinking about a few things while I was waking up. And it's mostly about the liberal. I have some of them written down. And just a few things that I want to say. And be like, points I want to hit on. Okay. So, hip hop and wars are designed to get poor men out of the way of the rich white liberals. That's what they're designed to do. That's why they own both of it. And see, what it is they insist on treating us like victims rather than treating us like with respect. And what I really wanted to hit on in the beginning was the fact that you have all these liberals and all these people, right, treating us like victims, right? And it's disabling. And they're doing it on purpose. And the reason this liberal wants to treat us like a victim rather than wants to treat us like, I'm not saying heroes, because they don't actually treat us like heroes. They patronize and condescend and they have no idea what the military is about. But they insist on getting us on PTSD. And I think the reason they want to get us on PTSD and get us on pills is so they can discredit us in society. Because there's always this fear from this liberal that the veteran's going to take over and become fascist or this or that. And all the money that's been spent by the liberal, like the Obama funds that went into the VA, has been designed to disable us and keep us out of society. They want to treat us like victims, but they don't want to treat us with any respect. Because you got to remember, the liberal was the same people that were throwing tomatoes at us and rotten fruit at us when we were coming off of LAX during Vietnam. They did it to my father, and they did it to just about every single veteran coming back who went through San Francisco or went through LAX. This is them trying to save face in the worst way. And what it might be is them trying to take over the VA system so they could keep veterans down and keep us from breeding and keep us from talking about the victimization and the terror that this liberal has put us through. You know, if we don't have descendants and we don't have any babies, then there's nobody to complain about the treatment that these liberals have given to us. There's no historical grievances. Like, our line literally ends. Like, think about it. If your grandma was actually a victim of the Holocaust, you probably wouldn't be here. Because, you know, all the victims of the Holocaust, like the worst victims, they're already dead. They had no descendants. And this is what this liberal wants to do. This liberal wants to bury our bones and keep us from breeding and really just do genocide against white men. Because if you think about it, there's everywhere. You could look on the internet and you could find, and they're trying to prevent me from saying this. They're actively using mind control on people to prevent us from talking about the history of the Liberal Party in relation to the Republican and the relationship to the white man and the relationship to the veteran. They are vile, and they're covering up their crimes. And it's this big brother bullshit that this liberal is doing. And, you know, I just want to say a few things. But I want to say a few other things, but I can't get there because they're actively using mind control on me. They'll let me say it in the air. They won't let me say it on camera. These people are crooks, and they're actively using mind control, and I really don't care if anybody thinks I'm crazy, but I know what I'm talking about. They're trying to bury our bones so they cover up a crime. They're killing a witness to their crime. They're killing a victim of their crime because they're either trying to silence their victim, and if they can't silence their victim, they will fucking kill their victim to keep me from speaking about their criminal behavior towards us and their lack of respect, you know. And the whole idea is, I was describing this scenario, right? This is a scenario where this liberal constantly disrespects us, right? And then we get pissed off because they make these assumptions and presumptions about us that are really just coming from our enemy. That liberal has been the enemy of the veteran. That liberal is trying to save face by treating us like a victim. That liberal does not have any respect for us. That liberal is ashamed by us. And that liberal hates us because when he looks at us, that liberal, especially that rich white liberal, especially that one that comes from the 60s and 70s, sees his own handiwork. And he wants to bury his own handiwork. He wants to bury my bones somewhere in an empty grave and forget that forget that I was ever his victim in order to save face. That's what that condescending liberal bitch is doing. She wants to smile and pretend that everything is just perfectly peachy and pretend that I am not her victim and I'm not her people's victim and I'm not the victim of their mentality and the actions they take based on that mentality. She wants to sit there and smile and pretend she's better than sliced bread. And no offense, liberals, you're idiots. You're a bunch of people that sit there and pander to the lowest common denominator, and they pay you money because you tell them what they want to hear. And any true chastisement, which a true chastisement is like we like it being 2 + 2 = 3. And I'm like, you guys are all idiots. 2 + 2 = 4, and you don't like that. And no offense, you don't like being called an idiot, but anytime you say 2 + 2 = fucking 3, you deserve to be called one. And you just don't like to be called one. You want the same status and the same respect, and you want everybody to have the same shit, though nobody really deserves the same thing. And the fact of the matter about this Jew and this black man is you can never put them as your equal without them trying to put themselves above you. They're famous for you got to put them all the way down. And if you try to stand next to them as equal, they will try to be above you. They will see an opportunity to try to put themselves above you, and they will do it. And then they'll be your bully boss for the rest of the time that you're next to them. And there's more. There is so much more. There's 10,000 points. You know, this liberal always wants to say, oh, it's just this one thing. Like, no. How many truths have I spoken? It's a whole essay of shit. It's a whole book of things. And they use mind control to make us believe that it's just this one thing over here that we're having a problem with. Oh, it's just this. Oh, it's just because you're not having pussy. It's just because you're not having sex. But like, no, I was pissed off after I had sex. I'm pissed off before I have sex. I'm a little bit better now that I have sex. But that's not the reason I'm pissed off. Though this liberal, this child, you know, and you notice liberals always, they're really good with ignorant people. They're really good with black people. They're really good with children. And they're really good with women. They're not really good with adults. You know, the problem with the United States Army is, in the United States Army, they treat you as an adult. So the F-bomb, the curse words, this, that, really doesn't matter. Civilians talk about the P's and Q's, but you got to think about it. We are teachers, coaches, tutors, and mentors. We are not teachers, coaches, tutors, and mentors to a bunch of children, women, and black men. I mean, there's black men in there, but what I'm saying is, you need to stop acting like a victim, because you're a victimizer, and you're guilty. And first and foremost, all the people that have garnered through ill-gotten, and which is most of you liberals, you shouldn't have it. You shouldn't have your children, you shouldn't have your money, you shouldn't have anything. It's all ill-gotten at my expense, at the expense of real pedigree. And I'm going to have to say this, and I'm going to touch on these points. Okay, all those years, you chose expedient pleasantries at the expense of the righteous individual should cost you everything you have garnered from that mentality. And then some. You are in debt, America. And what was the other one? The wars and prison is designed to take poor men out of the game because they are scared, because the status quo is scared of our ability and our pedigree. If we are gone, they choose. They pick and choose somebody in their pocket is going to garner them more wealth. It's not a free competition. It's honestly based on pure nepotism. There's not really much you could do about it, but whatever they're telling you is a lie.